Hello, this is a tutorial in a way of how to get the wubbing synthesizer sound at the end of The Void from Muse's new album, Simulation Theory. Um, this is in Keybase at the moment, but I will be using Serum to get it because I can't afford an actual analog synthesizer. So you can pretty much just transfer this between DAWs, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the sound that I need to try to get. So that's the sound I want to get. This is the sound I've currently got. So it's pretty close. The tone's not exact because obviously analog synth, Serum, but the movement of the synth and the way it reacts to what's being played is pretty much the same. I'm literally just going to show you the settings for this. So what we've got here, two synthesizers. We're using the filter and we're using two LFOs. We're not using the envelopes because there's no need really. There are a couple options we need to click just to make sure you get the right movement. So we've basically, on the oscillators here, we're using the basic shapes. We're pushing it over so we have this sort of like half triangle wave, I think, and it's 2 octaves down. So you go on basic shapes, you'll get this one first. You just move the wavetable position up to this shape, and that's literally it. For the second oscillator, same thing, but we're having it on the sine wave. Again, we want it 2 octaves down, and we want the unison, so we want two of them played at once, and make sure the detune's all the way down. But I mean, you can have it like slightly up a little bit, and it does have this sort of like widening effect. For the filter, we want the MG low 12, and basically you want to click these two buttons. What this means is the filter will be affecting both the oscillators at the same time, and then so you'll so also for this you want to drag this LFO so it's linked to the cutoff, and then you want it to be around this position, and you can change that by moving here, hovering your mouse over and just like left clicking and pulling. What this does, it means this LFO, when it goes up, the cutoff will open and then it will close. So let's see, once you've got those linked together, you then want to go over to drive, and you want this at around 15%, fatness at about 5%, resonance about 14-15%. What that all the resonance does is make sure it's got a bit of a mid sound, which it has on the actual record. The drive and the fatness is literally just there for distortion, a bit of like extra bass boost. It's not really that important. You might be able to just skip over this if you really don't want them. Over here, so it's LFO. You want to make sure it's on triggered mode, and you want to turn off BPM and keep anchor on. So basically, you turn BPM off so you can actually choose which frequency you want the LFO to work at. We don't want it time synced to the BPM because you're not going to get the same sort of movement with it. Then, once you've done all this, make sure that this rate is on 0.7 hertz. So we want it really, really slow. Then what you want to do is you want to link this LFO2 to the LFO1's rate, and you can't drag it over, so you have to go into the matrix. Go here, source, LFO2, and then LFO's LFO1 rate. That's what you want. And then over here, you want to drag this so it's 25 towards the right hand side. And once you've done that, just check and it'll be good. Then you want to go back over to your LF2 panel. You want to make sure it's on triggered mode. You want to click BPM and anchor, and you want to put the rate on 2 bars. The reason you want it on 2 bars is because of how long the phrase is. So you want it to be constantly moving throughout the whole entire phrase. So if you have like a section where it's got 4 bars, it's going to go up, down, and then up and down again over those 2 bars, obviously in 2 times. And then going back to the alpha, you want to draw in this shape. So basically, it's going to look like that. All you need to do is just drag it back 1 little square to here, and that basically has a long build up and a relatively short sort of a ramp back down. Once you've done that, you've got the movement all sorted. You can copy these settings here. I'm using the distortion to give it the grit and the sort of like the honkiness of the mid, the compressor. You're going to make sure the multiband is on. These settings here haven't changed. I've just pulled the threshold back a little bit. The reverb, not too important because obviously I have a effects channel here for most of the reverb, but this is just for a bit of space on the actual synthesizer. The EQ here, I've just set it so it's cutting out a bit of the sub bass frequencies and a bit of the top end to give it more emphasis on the mid sound, because it is very mid heavy in the actual track. And apart from that, that's really it. And that's it, really. Hope this comes in useful. I hope I haven't like fucked most of it up.